Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on Storm Talk. Way 3 News meteorologist Brian Good here on this Tuesday. Main focus of this blog is going to be actually for the weekend. Some data rolling in on how these storm chances may play out, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time discussing that. But I also want to discuss the cloud cover we have now and when we'll get some sunshine back in our area. As always the case, first off, the outlooks from SPC. For this afternoon, marginal risk to our southeast ahead of our upper level low that's now in the eastern part of Kentucky and Tennessee. Severe risk back into the plain states and the Dakotas. Tomorrow, it'll be the plains once again, most at risk. And then as we head into Thursday, temperatures will be warm enough to create another atmospheric outbreak of severe weather potentially for the plains. Meanwhile, mainly quiet here. Maybe a few storms Thursday afternoon for areas east of I-65. In the meantime, we got to get rid of these clouds outside. It's 61 here in town. 59 in Shelbyville, 59 in Campbellsville. And the clouds have been trying to thin out to our north, and we're seeing that trend continue. As we mentioned, it will be a slow process, but at least it is a process and not completely stagnant. So it is happening. It's just going to be a gradual effect here. We'll start to see more and more thinning of the cloud cover. Now, I will say for those of you to the south, your cloud deck is greater than 1,000 feet thick. So it's going to be a little more of a challenge to get you guys to thin out in time before sunset. Don't give up yet, but for areas north in this area I've outlined, you have the better chance to get some sunshine here shortly, and that will greatly affect, of course, our temperatures for this afternoon. Now, the models are saying mid-70s. I don't know if we'll get that warm, but at least into the low 70s if we get the sun to come out in the next couple of hours here in Louisville and southern Indiana. But again, it's a race against the clock because the longer we hold on to the clouds, the cooler it will end up being. You guys know how this works out. It's simple math here when it comes to cloud cover and temperature. But we will definitely see a chance to get some 70s on the map here for this afternoon. Clouds, again, try to break up off and on as we head throughout the day tomorrow. It may not be completely clear for a lot of us because that low is going to retrograde slightly to the west. Not more than maybe, I would say, 60 miles to the west. Nothing significant, but enough to keep the cloud cover at least around I-65 eastward, and there could be an isolated pop-up shower that may generate in the afternoon tomorrow. I don't think it's enough to be overly concerned about. Maybe 10-20% would be about it as far as the coverage goes for our area, a little higher for areas of eastern Kentucky. All right, so now let's talk about how we're going to progress toward the weekend, and this is when the pattern begins to shift somewhat. Thursday afternoon, we do have a chance to maybe see an afternoon thunderstorm that'll pop up. Now, the model isn't showing it here. This is the NAM. I wouldn't rule it out, though. There could be an isolated pop-up again, mainly along and east of 65. I think areas west of 65 will be the prime spot to see nothing but lots of blue sky, just a few cumulus clouds, but nice, dry, very warm weather for Thursday for areas mainly west of 65. And then we'll keep an eye on activity developing there across Iowa. That would be a big player for us as time goes on. All right, so here we go. Friday. I think we're going to start Friday with a little bit of patchy fog. Temperatures on the warm side. The humidity will be up compared to the recent days here. Friday afternoon, we're going to have a complex of storms that will roll through. Now, you've heard me mention before MCS, which stands for Mesoscale Convective System, or MCC, Mesoscale Convective Complex, has different names. It's basically just a blob of thunderstorms that ride along jet stream winds and can produce a rather large bow echo that can produce some strong straight line winds. And then on the southern flank especially, but either side of it, but mainly on the southern flank of the MCS is where you can get the potential for maybe a brief tornado that can develop. Now, the models are hinting that the northwest flow for starting Friday afternoon, Friday night is going to increase across the Ohio Valley. So there could be an MCS that will form, and there could be some damaging winds somewhere along that. Most of this will be just a blob of heavy rain and thunderstorms as it passes through. So let's examine the potential. First off, we're looking at the mid-level winds on Friday afternoon, say around 8 o'clock in the evening, in fact, late afternoon. And this is going to be our main storm chance, by the way, late afternoon Friday, if not after sunset. But either way, here are the mid-level winds. And again, you see a northwest flow. They're not overly strong in the mid-levels. You definitely see a circulation, though, which would certainly indicate an MCS type of low pressure that is developing there across central Indiana that dives down. Now, you got to go higher up to really see the strong wind potential at 500 millibars. And when you do that, you can see there's a decent little pocket of wind here that is going to ride on the south side of the MCS. So there's going to be a potential for damaging winds and even isolated tornadoes. It looks to be where that pocket of higher wind is at 500 millibars for Friday evening. Also looking at the energy for storms to work with, the capes. Here in Louisville, about 1,000 to 2,000 will be common, very high capes. in that area near the high winds, mind you, southeast areas of Missouri and southern Illinois, about 3,000, the potential energy for the system ahead of it moving through. And here's the theta E. We use this a lot. This is an energy type of index. It tells us which way the MCS will likely turn as far as the stronger wind gust and its bow-echo potential. And that would this tells us it's likely going to aim itself more along the Ohio River from Evansville back into St. Louis, would be the greater threat for a damaging wind or a bow-echo that could develop. Meanwhile, for us, there could be some strong wind gusts, but mainly just a lot of heavy rain and lightning as it passes through Friday night. Again, this is based on just one model's interpretation, and it's still several days out. So I don't want you to think this is a in-stone setup. I'm just giving you the behind-the-scenes look at the data that I'm looking at, and so we have an idea where to trend the forecast in which direction as we look ahead. The EHI tells us the potential for spinning motion, or basically tornadoes, and it's rather high in southern areas of Illinois, not as high, by the way, as Kansas, or Nebraska, but you definitely can see, in Nebraska and Kansas. I'll get it right. Southern Illinois, though, it is elevated enough, again, where there could be maybe a strong spin up. You see it's not very high here. All right. We'll watch it, is what I'm basically saying there for Friday night, early Saturday. The GFS, I will say, though, for the higher level winds, it is trying to aim the pocket more towards central Illinois than over St. Louis. That would allow for more of a maybe damaging wind threat in central Kentucky. That's the GFS. This particular grid is not as well defined as the other ones, so right now it's we'll likely see a blend of the two options here, and I think that's why SPC is not really discussing it much either, because there's just not a lot of agreement yet on how this is going to evolve. So, and that's understandably so this far out. I will say, though, as we get into Sunday, especially Sunday night into Monday, the upper level winds do pick up again. It looks like another complex will likely develop somewhere across Iowa and Wisconsin and Illinois at some point on Sunday, and that too will aim itself to the south and east, and there will be quite a bit of energy for it to work with. Capes are quite high on the southern side of that as it drops down, so there could be some strong thunderstorm potential again Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, into maybe early on Monday. So that's the way it stands right now. If the timing holds up, the main chance for anything strong for the weekend will likely be at night. Friday night, maybe even Saturday night. Some models, especially Canadian, hinting at Saturday night there could be another round. And then Sunday night. Doesn't mean it won't storm during the day. With the humidity so high, you can get some pop-up thunderstorms this weekend, so I wouldn't rule that out. But by far, our main issue is going to be the nocturnal systems that move through. Granted, it's nocturnal. That's good, because the lack of heating being overnight will help us out in reducing the energy these will have to work with, but you can still get some good winds with those kind of a setups even at night, so it is worth watching. So anyway, that's the latest setup for the next couple days with this cloud cover, and of course for the weekends. We'll keep an eye on it as always. Much more today being in at 5. We'll catch you later.